Alright, how you doing, everybody? Once again, it's Mesoian coming at you with another one of these things. I'll think of a name of it soon. But we were talking about Asura's Wrath today on Coscom, and it brought up a thing where basically what that game, people are a little confused about what that game's going to be. And from what I've seen of it and what I've played of it, it's basically going to be Naruto Ultimate Ninja Storm 2. And, I mean, if you ever talk to me about the Naruto fighting games of yesteryear, you'll know that I love the Cyber Connect 2 Naruto fighting games. I think they are absolutely tremendous. For a long, long time, I thought they were the best non-traditional fighting game that you could possibly find on the PS2. And, like, forget the PS2, find anywhere. Like, I think the older PS2 fighting games of Naruto were better than Smash Brothers for both N64 and GameCube. And honestly, I think they're better than the Wii version, too. But as time went on and as the hardware evolved, the games changed. They became more 3D, and CyberConnect 2 tried to change it to reflect that stuff. And it doesn't... I don't think it works. I think that the Storm series was a real big step backwards. And, I mean, it's a real shame. And I know it's hard for me to say that because... for the PS2 games as well, the first game was pretty rough, and it took them 3 iterations to really get it right. But when they got it right, they got it perfect. So what I thought I'd do is I'm going to keep this short because, you know, Katsucon is in 4 weeks and I need to get my stuff done. But what I thought I'd do is take you down memory lane and show you what really made these games stand out. And I think I'm only going to do a couple matches for this one, and I might change it up. But and do a different video for Storm 2. But right now, I think I'll take you through the good. And we'll play a little bit of Naruto Ultimate Ninja 3. A.k.a. Ultimate Hero 3. It's a stupid name. It's a stupid name. They needed some help naming that. But, so let's get started. Yeah, why don't we just go to our old standbys. Like, when I played this game, I played it with Tayuya, because she is the worst character in the game, by far, but I loved playing Tayuya against people because they just did not know what was coming, or they did not know how to react. I thought she was so much fun. This is the Japanese version. So, you know, it's the quote-unquote original. And, oh man, why did I choose that? So yeah, basically, in this game you could choose, you have 2 things. You can have your jutsu, which is one of these 2 things. It's triangle square and triangle square and triangle circle, which basically activates that, I think. Keep in mind, I haven't played this in a while. And you have your ultimate, which is your super move, your hyper, as it were. I'm just going to move on, because I don't need to change anything, because I always use the presets. Let's go random. The bridge. And, yeah. So here's the thing. I don't like Naruto as an anime at all. I think Naruto as an anime is pretty terrible. Going into years and years of filler in order to try and keep up with a respectable release date is awful. It's poor. It's poor design, and it never should happen. But that's what they did all the time. And I'm kind of excited. Oh my God. I'm kind of excited about where Naruto's going now, because it looks like it's ramping up. It looks like they're getting ready to finish it off, which would be great, because honestly, it's been going for too damn long. Getting my butt kicked here. Oh, that's terrible. Again, I remember her combos. But I mean, this game was so good. Like, I remember playing this at anime cons, like, way back in the day. Back, like, when it was still, like, new and magical, and, like, Naruto was still at the height of its popularity. Like, it was really cool to, like, to see people, like... CC2 does a great job. Oh, there we go. Gotcha. And now we have QTEs. So yeah, when you hit your hyper, you do this little QTE to see how much damage you do. Let's Toyoya is special because she transforms, and now she becomes a goddamn brute. Loading, hide. So now she can summon these dudes who are super powerful. And I almost had that. So basically the way this works is everybody has 2 meters. You have your health and you have your chakra. And if you run out of chakra, so every move in the game can be Kawarimi no Jutsu, which is the substitution jutsu, which is how we're flipping back and forth between each other. Every move in the game can have it happen. Everyone. No matter how complex it is. But you have to use chakra up in order to do that. So if you don't have any chakra, speed that up. So if you don't have any chakra, you're gonna get, you can get killed pretty quickly. Infinites are never a problem because of this, because if you have chakra, you can get out of whatever. However, if you run out, then that means that's pretty much the end of the game for you. Much in the similar way that it happened in Naruto. In Naruto, if you ran out of chakra, you were done. So it was a nice little. It's a nice little. Get that. Yeah. All right, nice. Life up. It was a nice little thing that really can't keep away with me right here. It was a nice little thing that kind of added to the strategy of what you need to do, because you can always gather more chakra, but it leaves you wide open. Man, I should be doing better than this. So yeah, now he's out of chakra, but he's too far away. I can't really capitalize on that. Now, when I was playing this game a lot, this match would have been over a long time ago. Oh, this is terrible. Man, I can't put him away. Oh, wow, I lost. Knocking the cobwebs out. And a lot of flack that this game gets from people is like, oh, the only thing you need to do is mash circle button until you win. And it's like, there's more to it than that. Like, yeah, there's one principal combat button, and that's circle. But at the same time, you have to... No, I'm not doing a mirror match. Come on. Come on, game. You have to do timing. You have to set it up like a normal fighting game. It's just it's just more simplistic than a Street Fighter where you have 6 inputs. It puts a lot more emphasis on positioning and footsies and doing what you need to in order to get open, in order to capitalize on a situation. Which I like it. It makes it a lot more cerebral. It takes a lot of the effort out of execution and replaces it to strategy, which I think makes a fighting game a lot more interesting. I mean, not everybody can, not everybody is going to be able to do a FADC into Shuriken, or into Hadouken, into Hadouken, into Hyper. But everybody can hit these. Everybody can hit the circle. Which is nice. It takes a lot of the barrier for everybody to play. See, I beat him by 3, so I got a little bit of a damage bonus there. And the nice thing about this game is that everybody plays differently. There's no Shoto stuff. There's no you won't find people who are playing exactly the same. The only time you really see that, actually not even in this game, but the only time you really saw that was in the later games, where ran out of chakra. Get out of here! Don't run out of chakra. That's terrible. I gotta run away. Oof, not in a good position. What was I saying? Yeah, so I mean, it just allows everybody to, you know, have some understanding of how it works. If you can get the rhetoric, or if you can get the philosophy behind how it works, then you can play, which is why I like it so much. Like, when I was playing this a lot when I was in college, there were two games that I was playing predominantly. One was Guilty Gear, and the other one was this. And it was nice because it's like if I really wanted to get complex and really execution heavy, I could always go back to Guilty Gear and try playing my, you know, Viking game, and it worked nicely. This was a nice little departure from all that stuff. Still need more chocolate. And I am not playing terribly smart right now. I should be going for items, but I'm not. So there are items in this game that pop up in those full chocolate. So there are items that pop up in those dummy barrels, and sometimes it'll be a pot or whatever. But she's a little slow, but that's nice. Out of me. Ugh. Staying on my butt. Alright. So these are cool. The Kaorimi. It's just mashing one button, but like if you're playing against human opponents, those can last a long time, and it gets faster every time, and those can get fun. Because it's like, I remember just like at like places like Anime Boss and stuff, like those would get to the point where there's 10 and everybody's going back and forth, and the crowd just got so big watching what was happening. Wow, losing a lot of health there. No chakra. You're done. Alright. I don't know how I got so low on that, but yeah. But like, I remember the crowds for this game getting so massive at anime conventions. Like, just like rows upon rows of people just watching people fight, and it was really amazing. Like, it was treated like a proper fighting game. And like, I just don't know if CyberConnect 2 ever understood that it was getting that kind of exposure in America, because the only way that people were playing it was when people were bringing in their Japanese PS2s and somebody happened to have this game and they put it up on display. But when it went up on display, everybody was there. It was a huge crowd, and it was something to really behold. It was really impressive. Let's see, what do I want to be? Oh, I'll be my main. I was Tayuya and Orochimaru. That's my game. First Hokage. And after this, I'll play First Hokage and show like some of the cool hypers and why I kind of really. It's not that I don't like how the new game plays. The new game has serious problems, but it's not that I don't like how it plays. I just think this is so much better. But yeah, I mean, the crowds for this game were really something to behold. It was fun to watch. It was fun to play. I don't feel like we get that, or no, I mean we have that, but it's for, you know, Street Fighter and stuff like that, which is, you know, not bad. You know, we play Street Fighter too, but this was something that was really interesting. Alright, that's terrible. But I really ultimate or limited chakra. How stupid. All right. So this is a summon. These are dumb. These are not well thought out. These were a pretty bad idea back in the day. Let's see, how do I do? Do I need to awaken? Is that how this goes? No, there's no awaken. Oh no, it was just level 3. Okay. So there are different levels. Oh no, I needed to assign it. Damn. Yeah, I'll play one more with the Orochimaru. But yeah, I mean, there are some things like this which are like cool on paper, but really, if you're playing against a human player, this is dumb, because all they need to do is jump, and they will never get hit by this. Like, they had lofty ideas, but just a lot of... They didn't know how to make them come to fruition. Load times in 3 were kind of bad. So that's good. Let's see if I can remember where it actually is. But it's this game, and the thing about the whole series is that Ultimate Ninja 1, Ultimate Ninja 2, they had a lot of problems that really made them like silly, and it's kind of like, oh, it's a anime game, and nobody needs to take it seriously. Who cares? But this game is like fantastically balanced. Everybody has a chance of winning. Like, there are a couple problems, like Guy and I think Itachi were really, really, really overpowered, and to the point where you had to think about banning them, but you never really had to make that decision. Like, I think the few tournament games that I went to for this, I think nobody was banned. People were talking about whether or not they wanted a guy to be banned, but in the end, it wasn't that big of a deal, and, he stayed in. Everybody has a chance due to the way that this game worked. The systems behind everything made everything work, even if somebody had, some weird, gross thing that they could do. Which is what I think a lot of fighting games nowadays get away from. Like, there is going to be a point where I do just go online and play a couple games of Marvel and show everybody what I'm talking about, because the underlying mechanics of Marvel 3 are terrible. And they just create a massive character talent block. And what I mean by that is, like, with Ultimate Marvel 3 and Vanilla Marvel 3, there's only about maybe 10 characters who are viable in a tournament. If you're not using these set 10 characters out of the 50 that are in the game, you're gonna lose, because those characters who are below there just can't stack up. And unfortunately, a lot of like fan favorites, a lot of the things that got people to play Marvel 3, they're in that section. Like Phoenix Wright. Like, I know people who put down the money for that game just so they could play as Phoenix Wright, and he ended up turning into the worst character in the game. So it's kind of like, I don't really know like how they decide that what they're doing is okay, because in a lot of ways it's not. But let's play one more Trip Mario, and let me see if I can do it. No, not. Well, okay, we'll do one with the Shukaku. That's fine. Oh, jeez. I think this is level 3. We'll go with level 3. This is really good. And this game had weird stats and stuff, and like a weird, like, sort of almost a creative fighter, but not quite as deep as that. It's like you take a fighter and then you can build them up in the story mode. But like, I don't know. Like, this game is really good, but the things that they did under the hood were the things that made it viable in a tournament setting. It was really, really smart, and I feel like CyberConnect 2 was really good about doing this stuff. Dot Hack was the same way, whereas there was a lot of dumb stuff that you could do in that game, but yeah, the AI on this game is terrible. Maybe I guess I am thinking of the next game when it comes to this Super, which is super good. Yeah, I guess so. I mean, I still... yeah, it must have. Because that was... Yeah, and that was the thing. It's like, there are level 3s in this game, but you never want to use them. Unless they gave you something. But, I mean, in this game especially, like, that's okay, because you can just choose a level 2, a level 1, when you're outfitting your character before you go into a match. And, you know, it makes things pretty even. And you never feel like you're getting stomped due to the game being cheap. Other people, the people that you're playing against might be being cheap for whatever reason, but it's TVs kill me. But it never feels like there's something that you just aren't able to do that's getting you killed, like, which is really nice. I'm doing something because I'm not doing that. No more trouble for you. And you're slow. And take it. See, now this is a sort of infinite, but not really. I didn't want to do that. But he can get out of that at any point using chakra. So it's not a real infinite. But if he didn't have, unless he doesn't have chakra, and then, you know, you can just keep hitting him. like so. I'm gonna just kill him with this combo. Because he can't use it, do that item I used. But, I mean, I don't know. This game was just really, really good. This game and the next game were really just fantastic fighting games. The fifth one, Naruto Ultimate Ninja 5, put in assists, which had been taken out from 2 because they were breaking the game. And they had retooled them a lot so they wouldn't quite break the game so much, but they still broke the game enough where you had to essentially ban assists or else it wasn't fair. And I think that's the weird thing. It's like CyberConnect 2 has this thing in their head nowadays that they must have assists in, or else it's not right. And if they don't have them in there, we're missing out on something. But assists, ever since Ultimate Ninja 5, have broken the game. They broke 5, they broke 6, which was on the PSP. They broke Storm 1 and 2. Like, it makes it so we can't think of it as a really good or really balanced fighting game anymore. It makes it so all we can do is consider it a Dojin fighter. But even Dojin fighters have more balance than, you know, the shit that breaks, the shit that assists break. It's really kind of a shame. And I'm going to show you the coolest ultimate in this game. The first is kind of hard to use, but he has one of the goddamn coolest moves in his entire game. Let me see if I can pull it off. Yeah, that's it. Oh, hit by. Oh God, really? So let me see if I can show you what I mean by all this shit is completely meaningless. It takes so long for them to actually attack. And you know, I can just sit here throwing shurikens if I really wanted to. I tried to block that. That didn't work out that well. But look how little damage that did compared to the 2 bars of meter that it took. Oh, Tsunade, you're tough to figure out when this shit's happening. The first is kind of, oops. The first is kind of tough to tell. Yeah, see? That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. Oh no. He's got that weird combo that just keeps going. Oh. Yeah, that's guard break status. It'll be embarrassing if I can't actually pull this thing off. This is on hard, by the way. Actually, it's not on hard, it's on very hard. It's on the highest difficulty that you can go. Because I just loaded up my last save and said, let's go. I need to do some damage. Gotcha. Now this is my favorite ultimate in the entire game. I think it's fantastic. And this is really what makes CyberConnect 2 amazing. Like, this is not canon. This never happened in the anime or the manga. But it is absolutely just a brilliant thing. And this is what they really finesse at. When they are left to make their own stuff that seems canonical, they make amazing stuff. Like, that is when Naruto Storm 2 shines, when they are allowed to use their own creative license and make something that's really amazing. I mean, look at that. That's awesome. Nuclear weapon, tactical nuke, using the Tree of Life. That's awesome. And now I have a power-up, but I have no chakra. Actually, I have the thing that steal hers. Hit by that and just recover chakra. But, oh man. A little bit better about short throw range. Oof, oof, lost one. Alright, so that was 4 matches. I'll play one more, and then I think we'll call it there. I mean, I wish these games would get more respect. And more than that, I wish CyberConnect 2 would stop trying to pretend that they don't exist by trying to do things that sold well opposed to what worked well. Like Storm and Storm 2 as fighting games are bad. They're bad fighting games. They're very bad fighting games. But, you know, they sold well because there aren't that many Naruto games that come out in America every year. A lot of them just go straight to PSP and, you know, don't matter because they're pretty terrible. But, I mean, they're quick ports, so it doesn't matter. These were built from the ground up. These are games that were specifically made. Well, you know what? Let's do The Amazing Spider-Man because I had some fun. I was rolling with him for a little while. They're games that they put a lot of heart and soul into, and in the 3rd and 4th games, and even in the 5th game, you can see it. Like, they're not bad. They're very good. It's just they took missteps. But they kept making the same missteps over and over again towards the end. And I think that's what got them into trouble. And I think they think that what they were doing before is bad and what they're doing now is good. But it's like, with Storm 2, it's like you have the jutsu spams and, you know, just trying to posture for ultimates and throwing shurikens from all the way across the stage, never trying to get in on them because it's too much of a liability. It is literally a fighting game where you do not fight, which is terrible. Like, it's pretty awful. And I really hope that... I mean, Storm Generations is coming out later this year, and it just looks like more of Storm 2. And if it is, it'll be really disappointing. And if it is, then I don't even need to apply because it's nothing that made the series good. But I mean, like, really, there was a point where, like, the manga was bad, the anime was bad, and the last bastion of quality Naruto products were the video games. And now I feel like they don't have that anymore. Oops, wrong way. Oh, that's not good. Like, I remember going to the tournament scene for this game, which at the time was hosted by Jaxel, who does a lot of the New York Marvel stuff now. And just, like, the sense of community that people had with those games was really nice, because nobody else was playing this stuff at the time. Like, it was really foreign. I'm not gonna get any good combos. I don't remember what to do. But I mean, and I think that says a lot. Like, I don't know what to do, but I still remember how the mechanics work, which means that I can still be dangerous, which is fun. Alright, that worked already. This computer being dumb. That's fine. That's enough to transform. Look out. Yes, it's the Amazing Spider-Man. But yeah, I don't know. Like, I don't have high hopes for Storm Generations. I think Storm 2 is just bad. I think when I do the Storm 2 video, which probably won't be today because I need to start sewing, but when I do it, it's range. Let's go some Hawkeye mode. I don't know why he's blocking, because that won't hurt him with that power-up on. Because the AI in this game is bad, but... That's my chance of recovering. I was never good at recovering. But, like, I don't know. I want these games to be good again. Yep, thank you for hitting me. Hit me right on that. the... Oh yeah, down, down, circle. Right. Down, down, circle, not down, circle. Right. And I never turned that on. Sniper shot. Right. Like, I don't know. I really like this line of fighting games. I thought there was a point where there was literally nothing else out there like it. And there were some, like, the closest things like Smash Brothers, but even then, this felt like a more balanced, a more fair version of Smash Brothers, and it was really good. But I mean, it feels like CC2 doesn't really care about that anymore, which is a shame, you know. And they're going into this thing where it's like games like Naruto and games like Asura's Wrath. They're looking to be interesting, but they're not competitive fighting games. And I feel like I don't know if they're scared to get back in the ring now that fighting games have resurged. I don't know if they just don't think that Naruto has the clout that it used to, and that might be a valid point. But you know, this is a good formula for a fighting game. It's a really good formula for a fighting game, and I feel like it deserves more than to just, you know, get shriveled up and die on the PSP or the Vita, as it will be soon. Because it's really good. I would love to see what a game like this would look like in HD. Like a 2D version of this game, or not a 2D, but a 2.5D version of this game. Something that's not so crazy like Storm, where they try to reinvent every part of the fighting mechanic. But you know, something that keeps it interesting. And as I'm talking, as I'm saying my piece here, I think I'll just let the computer fight real quick. Oh, I can't even do that anymore. That's not in this game. All right. But, I mean, it's just a shame to me. I think it's just too bad. Because this is a good formula. It's a winning formula. And maybe Naruto doesn't have the clout that it used to. Maybe a Naruto game like this wouldn't be successful. But, you know, One Piece, Hunter x Hunter, you know, any of the Jump stuff. You know, Blue Exorcist. Something that came out recently. Beelzebub. I would like to see them take a risk and put out a new game, even if it's just taking original characters and putting it in. I would like to see them do something with this engine, because this is a good engine that we know works. And I know there's a Naruto no Hito game coming out for, I think, 3DS, which is sort of like this, but a little bit more crazy. It reminds me more of Jump Ultimate Stars, which I think will prove that you can get away with doing this kind of game, you know, in this day and age. But I just wish it didn't, because it's 2D, because it doesn't require, you know, crazy, outlandish, amazing graphics, that it has to be delegated to a portable. Like, I think there's a lot here. Like, I would just like to see maybe, like, this game re-released on PSN. And see what you can do with it. Like, because this did come out in English. Like, all of the Naruto fighting games for PS2 did eventually come out in English. But, you know, it felt like there was no fanfare behind it. They came out 3 to 4 years late, and by the time that they were on store shelves, nobody cared anymore, because the amount of characters that were in it most of them were already dead. Like, I mean, looking at the cast in this game, by the time this came out in America, half this cast was dead already, so nobody cared. There was already a full new cast of characters in the manga and the anime that were being showcased, and like, where are they? You know, it's bad timing, and it goes back to the Wild West of anime, which was stupid, but, you know, I could understand why it happened that way back then. And, you know, Storm Generations is coming out later this year, is getting a universal release. So it's coming out in North America, Europe, Japan in the same day, or within the same week. It's fine. But I just don't think that game is going to be any good. And it's all the more annoying because I know this formula is good. And I don't know, it's depressing to know that we'll probably never see a game like this again. Yeah, it's a bummer. It's a bummer. Because, I mean, if you're going to put out a new game like this, now's the time, because Street Fighter is still strong. You know, Marvel is still strong for the moment. You got Street Fighter X Tekken coming out next year. You have Skullgirls coming out next year. Like, and there are, like, anime games coming out. Like, Persona 4 Thumb is coming out next year, and that game looks incredible. It looks really good. I'm super excited for it. If you are a Persona 4 fan or a Persona 3 fan, you need to get that game. I don't know. I'll do another one of these later. But, yeah, that was me bringing it back to you a little bit. And I'll see you in the next one.